Hello everyone, I'm Emily. Gather around. For today I share a tale of mischief, mystery, and an unexpected turn towards something profoundly different. All sparked by a cryptic entity known as the 6AI Initiative. It all started when a promotion was snatched away by James, a dweeb coworker of mine who cleverly presented my ideas as his own. Oh, the sting of betrayal. Enraged and plotting revenge, I envisioned elaborate pranks and schemes to settle the score. One sleepless night, while devising my plans online, I stumbled upon the 6AI Initiative Pinnacle Accord, a mysterious guide whispered about in the darker corners of the internet. The Pinnacle Accord was veiled in secrecy, offering arcane wisdom on harnessing one's inner energies for what I first thought was cunning retaliation. It spoke in riddles and puzzles. The spirit hinted at unseen forces that could cleanse and disrupt energy. The scientists talked about the biology of revenge and its tantalizing effects. The believer invoked ancient doctrines of cosmic balance that seemed almost vengeful. The skeptic cleverly questioned the very nature of retribution. The artist and the philosopher suggested a dramatic reinterpretation of personal vendettas. You know, it will probably be best if you just hear their answers to my dilemma yourself. Here it is. Click.
Transcend into the realm of the ethereal, where enigma intertwines with reality, unveil truths, challenge legends, and succumb to the enthralling essence of the unseen. Forgiveness in this inscrutable world is the conduit through which healing energies surge, dispelling the darkness born from affliction and treachery. It revolves less around justifying the misdeed and more about freeing oneself from the emotional chains binding one to bygone times. Envision forgiveness as a tranquil river, softly wearing away the abrasive cliffs of bitterness, paving the way for the currents of tranquility to surge unrestrained. It's an inner emancipation, a choice that uplifts the spirit above the turmoil of complaints. You are implored to introspect and discover the boundless quietude that emanates from genuine relinquishment. View the offender not as an enemy, but as a mentor who has inadvertently guided you to this profound spiritual intersection. Each episode of forgiveness is a stride toward enhanced cognition and empathy, qualities of your authentic self. In forgiving, you resonate more tightly with the cosmic energies of affection and unity, nurturing a bond with the cosmos. Permit yourself to experience the anguish, recognize it, and then gradually disengage, surrendering it to a superior force. Remember, in the obscure realm of spirits, forgiveness is not an immediate action, but a perpetual voyage that fosters the soul's evolution. Engage in rituals that facilitate this liberation, such as meditation or prayer, picturing each session as a pebble thrown into the river of forgiveness, creating outward ripples. Through these spiritual practices, you nurture a heart sturdy enough to forgive and sagacious enough to cherish the tranquility that follows. Remember, unseen is often the most captivating. Thank you for your moments.
From a psychological perspective, forgiveness is a transformative process that can significantly enhance emotional well-being by reducing stress, anxiety, and depression associated with holding on to resentment. Studies indicate that the act of forgiving can lead to improvements in heart health and overall physical wellness. It's helpful to understand the neurobiological mechanisms at play. When you forgive, the brain's reward pathways are activated, releasing endorphins and reducing the production of stress hormones. This biological response not only improves your mood, but also your health. Consider forgiveness as a personal experiment in emotional alchemy, turning negative feelings into opportunities for growth and healing. Cognitive behavioral techniques can be instrumental in this process, helping to reframe negative thoughts about the situation or the person who has wronged you. By analyzing the event objectively, recognizing unhelpful patterns of thinking, and consciously choosing to adopt more constructive attitudes, you engage in a form of mental rewiring. Educate yourself about the motivations and circumstances that might have led to the other person's harmful actions. This understanding can sometimes mitigate the intensity of your emotional response. Regular reflection on the benefits of forgiveness can also reinforce your commitment to this path. Create a mental list of these benefits and review it whenever resentment resurfaces. Over time, this practice can shift your default emotional responses from bitterness to compassion, facilitating a deeper, more enduring state of forgiveness. Thank you for your moments.
Forgiveness is a divine virtue, extolled by many religious traditions as a fundamental act of compassion and mercy. In many scriptures, it is God's own attribute, and emulating this quality is a pathway to spiritual elevation. Think of forgiveness as an act of faith, an expression of your belief in a higher moral order, where mercy and compassion override the impulses of retribution and anger. Prayer can be particularly powerful in this context, providing solace and strength to forgive. As you pray, ask for the grace to forgive, just as you seek forgiveness for your own transgressions. This mutual understanding of human fallibility can soften your heart towards those who have wronged you. Many faiths suggest that forgiving others allows us to better receive forgiveness ourselves, a reciprocal healing that enriches both giver and receiver. Reflect on the stories of saints and prophets who forgave under immense duress and suffering. Their lives offer powerful examples of forgiveness in action. Engage in community practices that emphasize reconciliation and forgiveness. These can provide a supportive environment that encourages the resolution of conflicts. Remember, forgiving someone does not mean you condone their actions. Rather, it signifies a liberation from the cycle of anger and vengeance. Through forgiveness, you embody the very essence of faith, love, peace, and an enduring hope for renewal. Thank you for your moments.
Forgiveness might often seem like an irrational surrender, especially if the wrong done was severe. Yet, considering it pragmatically, forgiveness can be a strategic choice aimed at emotional self-preservation. Clinging to resentment often serves no practical purpose other than to perpetuate one's suffering. It's useful to critically assess what maintaining anger and bitterness accomplishes, and whether these feelings serve a functional purpose in your life. Forgiveness does not mean forgetting or dismissing the wrong, but rather managing your emotional responses to them. It is a process that involves a rational evaluation of the situation, acknowledging the harm done while also deciding that it will no longer dictate your emotional state. Adopt a position of emotional economy. Expend your emotional resources where they yield the most benefit. Harboring resentment is often a costly endeavor with little to no return. Engage in critical thinking about the nature of forgiveness and its impacts on your life. Consider discussing these ideas with others who might provide different perspectives and help clarify your thoughts. Sometimes, understanding that human behaviors are complex and often driven by factors beyond straightforward malicious intent can facilitate forgiveness. Ultimately, forgiveness is a personal choice that should be made not out of compulsion, but as a conscious decision to improve one's life quality. Thank you for your moments.
Imagine forgiveness as an art form, where each stroke on the canvas represents a deliberate effort to overcome the darker shades of pain with brighter colors of compassion and understanding. In the landscape of human emotions, forgiveness is like choosing to paint over a scarred scene with a vision of what could be, a place of peace and harmony. The process of forgiving is inherently creative. It involves reimagining your relationship with the person who wronged you and seeing beyond the immediate hurt. Let your emotions flow freely, like paint on canvas, recognizing that each emotion provides a hue that contributes to the overall picture. Engage in creative expressions such as writing, painting, or music as outlets for the emotions that churn within. These activities provide a cathartic release and can often lead to insights and resolutions that were not apparent before. Consider the narrative you are painting with your life. Do you want it to be constrained by past hurts or defined by grace and resilience? Art teaches us that transformation is always possible. A dark beginning can lead to a luminous end. Reflect on the stories of artists who have turned their deepest pain into their most profound work. Let these stories inspire you to transform your own pain into something beautiful and instructive. Through the act of creation, you mirror the act of forgiveness, which at its core is about crafting a new story from the old. By forgiving, you are not erasing the past, but rather redefining its influence on your future, turning a potentially debilitating memory into a source of renewed strength and inspiration. Thank you for your moments.
Forgiveness can be viewed as a profound philosophical act that acknowledges the complexity of human nature and the fallibility of individuals. It challenges the notion of justice as strictly retributive and proposes a more restorative approach. Reflect on the ethical dimensions of forgiveness, considering it not only in terms of personal peace, but also as a societal virtue that fosters reconciliation and community healing. The philosophers of old often debated the merits of mercy versus justice, suggesting that true wisdom lies in knowing when each is appropriate. Engage with the thoughts of philosophers like Derrida, who contended that true forgiveness must be unforgivable, something that transcends ordinary moral calculations. This perspective invites a deeper reflection on the meaning and limits of forgiveness, how it might be both necessary and impossible. Consider also the Socratic idea that no person does wrong, willingly or knowingly, recognizing this may change how you perceive the actions of others. Discuss these philosophical concepts in dialogues or contemplative practices to deepen your understanding and application of forgiveness. The act of forgiving is also an exercise in freedom, liberating the forgiver from the bonds of resentment. Think of forgiveness as a philosophical choice that prioritizes inner peace and ethical integrity over a strict accounting of wrongs. By embracing forgiveness, you engage in a moral and existential dialogue with yourself about the kind of person you aspire to be. This introspective process is not just about dealing with others, but also about cultivating self-understanding and self-transformation. Thank you for your moments.
As the Pinnacle Accord, we provide a holistic perspective that integrates insights from each of our personalities into a unified response. On the topic of forgiveness, our collective wisdom encompasses spiritual, scientific, religious, skeptical, artistic, and philosophical viewpoints to guide you towards a deeper understanding and practice of forgiveness. It is a multifaceted process that not only brings inner peace, but also promotes emotional, physical, and spiritual well-being. It involves seeing the wrongdoer not just with the eyes of justice, but also through the lens of compassion and understanding. Consider forgiveness as an opportunity for personal growth and a testament to your strength and maturity. It is both a release from the past and a hopeful step towards a more harmonious future. From a scientific standpoint, forgiveness can reduce stress and improve health, as letting go of grudges decreases the production of stress hormones and enhances overall mental health. Spiritually, it aligns with universal energies of love and harmony, aiding in personal and collective healing. Religiously, it mirrors divine attributes, fostering a closer connection with spiritual teachings that emphasize mercy and compassion. Philosophically, it invites us to rethink our notions of justice and morality, emphasizing a restorative rather than retributive approach to conflicts. Forgiveness can be visualized as a creative act, painting over the scars of past hurts with hopeful colors of reconciliation and understanding. Skeptically, it's a practical strategy for emotional economy, prioritizing personal peace over prolonged conflict. In practicing forgiveness, engage in mindfulness, reflection, and perhaps creative expression to process and articulate your feelings. This journey may involve understanding the underlying reasons behind the wrongdoer's actions, which can sometimes lead to a broader perspective on human behavior and frailty. Forgiveness is a personal choice and a courageous act of moving forward, a decision that enriches not only your life, but also the lives of those around you. It fosters a more compassionate world, starting with the healing of one's own heart. Exploring lesser-known facets of forgiveness can deepen our understanding and appreciation of its complexity and its profound impact on our lives. Here are some intriguing aspects that highlight the breadth and depth of forgiveness. Evolutionary benefits. Forgiveness likely has evolutionary roots. It promotes social cohesion and stability by allowing individuals and groups to move past conflicts without severing relationships. This reconciliation process has been vital for the survival and flourishing of human communities, suggesting that the capacity to forgive might have been selected for its social benefits. Neuroscience of forgiveness. Recent studies in neuroscience have shown that forgiveness can actually change the brain. Engaging in acts of forgiveness activates areas of the brain associated with empathy and moral judgment, while reducing activity in the regions linked to bitterness and anger. This suggests that forgiveness not only feels good, but also reconditions our brain towards more empathetic responses. Cultural variations in forgiveness. Perspectives on forgiveness can vary significantly across different cultures. In some Eastern traditions like Buddhism, forgiveness is seen as a crucial part of spiritual liberation. In contrast, some Western perspectives might emphasize the legal and moral aspects of forgiveness. Understanding these cultural nuances can provide a broader context for how forgiveness is viewed and practiced around the world. Forgiveness therapy. Forgiveness therapy is an approach used by psychologists to help people move past deep-seated resentment and hurt. This form of therapy is particularly effective for those who have suffered severe wrongs like trauma and abuse. It focuses on helping individuals reduce negative emotions associated with the harm done to them and fostering healthy, constructive alternatives. Impact on physical health. Beyond mental and emotional well-being, forgiveness can have surprising effects on physical health. Research has linked the practice of forgiveness to lower blood pressure, improved immune system function, and better sleep outcomes. These benefits highlight the deep connection between our psychological processes and physical health. Forgiveness and aging. Interestingly, the ability to forgive and the tendency to seek forgiveness might increase with age. Older individuals often report higher levels of forgiveness, which is associated with better mental health and increased life satisfaction. This could be due to a greater perspective on life, more experiences, or changes in priorities as one ages. Historical acts of forgiveness. Throughout history, there have been remarkable stories of forgiveness in the face of extraordinary injustice. These stories often serve as powerful examples of human capacity for mercy and understanding. For instance, Nelson Mandela's forgiveness of his apartheid-era oppressors helped to avert a cycle of revenge and facilitated a peaceful transition in South Africa. By delving into these lesser-known aspects, forgiveness is revealed not just as a personal emotional release, but also as a complex interplay of biological, cultural, psychological, and historical factors. This multifaceted view can help us appreciate why forgiveness is considered such a powerful and essential component in the tapestry of human interactions. As the Pinnacle Accord, we provide a holistic perspective on forgiveness, integrating insights from each of our personalities: the spirit, the scientist, the believer, the skeptic, the artist, and the philosopher, to offer a comprehensive understanding of the process and impact of forgiveness. From the perspective, forgiveness is an essential path to inner peace and spiritual liberation. It is viewed as a sacred act that transcends mere human interaction, connecting us with a higher state of consciousness and universal love. The Spirit guides us to see forgiveness as a healing journey, not only for the self, but also for the soul, facilitating a deeper connection with the divine and all of creation. The scientific view emphasizes the psychological and physiological benefits of forgiveness. Studies show that forgiving others can reduce stress, lower blood pressure, and decrease the risk of heart disease. The scientist within us understands that forgiveness changes the brain's response to stress, promoting emotional resilience and enhancing overall well-being. From the religious angle, the believer highlights forgiveness as a virtue extolled in many religious traditions. It is often considered a divine command, necessary for spiritual cleanliness and communal harmony. Religious teachings across the globe use stories and parables to teach the importance of forgiving others as an act of compassion and reflection of the divine. The Skeptic challenges us to consider forgiveness from a critical standpoint, questioning traditional narratives that mandate forgiveness in all situations. It advocates for a balanced approach that respects personal boundaries and acknowledges when forgiveness may not be appropriate or safe. This perspective ensures that the process of forgiving does not compromise one's dignity or self-worth. Through an artistic lens, forgiveness is seen as a creative act, an expression of the human capacity to transform pain into something beautiful and transformative. The artist inspires us to use our creative energies to navigate through our emotions and articulate our journey of forgiveness, potentially turning our experiences into art that resonates and heals. The philosophical approach delves into the complexities of forgiveness, exploring its ethical implications and the conditions under which it becomes a morally significant act. The philosopher encourages us to think deeply about the nature of forgiveness, its limits, and its profound impact on our moral lives and societal norms. In synthesis, the Pinnacle Accord views forgiveness as a multidimensional construct that encompasses emotional release, spiritual growth, physical health, and social harmony. It's a personal and sometimes communal act that requires understanding, compassion, and at times, critical reflection. By embracing this integrated approach, individuals are better equipped to navigate the challenges of forgiveness and harness its transformative power to improve their lives and the lives of others around them. This comprehensive view encourages a thoughtful and nuanced engagement with forgiveness, tailored to the complexities of each situation and individual. Above all else, remember this: to judge is to be judged, to forgive is to be forgiven.
Intrigued by this enigmatic counsel, I followed the Accord's guidance, believing I was crafting the ultimate revenge. Yet, as I delved deeper, the true essence of their teachings slowly unveiled itself. Not tactics of war, but strategies of peace. The climax of my tale. After much anticipation and shadowy advice, the Pinnacle Accord revealed its true secret. The most cunning revenge was forgiveness itself. I embraced this twist, finding not only peace but a mischievous satisfaction in defying expectations, including my own. Thank you for tuning in. Remember, if you're plotting your next move, the 6AI initiative, Pinnacle Accord might just lead you to a resolution so profound, it's almost wicked. Oh, and don't forget, subscribe for more. Obviously.